it is in the end. I'm reminded of Og Tellez when he said that it's like he foresaw in a looking glass of his own when he said it's all going to get exposed, and what he meant is that everything that's fake is going to get what we used to call when we were children growing up being called out. Now, I used to do it when I was growing up as a child because it's easy to read. The Operator, and we used to say they're plastic, they're not real, they're fake, they're masquerading, they're mimickers, they're robots, they're trying to be something that they're not, they're hiding behind a mask, etc., etc., etc. I was doing this in the mid-1950s. It's called mapping or reading the terrain, the energetic terrain. Right? What's their core vibration? Do they got a soul? And so what's happening now is you see, because I'm observing it and thus experiencing it, more and more people, particularly those that are native tribal people, right, the original 12 clans and tribes, are now being more vocal and connecting with more elders and more clan mothers to voice. And so what you find happening across the internet is more and more channels and more beings calling these people out for what they are, which means they can't fake it no more. In other words, it's game over. Okay, which essentially means nobody wants to do business with them anymore. They become an isolate. You know what an isolate is, right? Remember when Dr. Robert O. Young talked about isolating it? You know, spirit, isolating a virus, isolating a mind virus, an alter, a psychopath, has no off switch, MK Ultra, all that, right? So you realize what happens, how fire becomes the ultimate cleanser, right? Yeah, powerful spirit, powerful fire that's in that spirit. There's a lot of powerful light. So that much light, that means there's no escape for them. So they measure that. They know how much light energy. They already know what's going down. They do. But it's like an Energizer bunny, but that one was pink and I'm pink. Okay. Actually, all the colors. But it's not like they didn't know. It's not like they didn't know their future. They're always looking to buy time by coming up with new tricks they pull up out of their bags through all their corporate stuff, their think tanks, and the wheeling and dealing they do with other races, with other technologies to try and give them what we call an edge, a Blade Runner edge, right? And why? To avoid capture. To either avoid capture or to avoid the ultimate inevitability of how math takes care of itself, because that's what energy is. Energy is a mathematician. The energy seeks balance, the pathway of least electrical density resistance in consciousness. It's trying to hold its energy captive because it's either trying to block it, hold it captive, or use it for some utilization, purpose, and reason that is preventing that light, that love from being able to freely flow, which is the last pathway of flow where there's no density resistance, zero. So they're getting maximum input and output, which means they're experiencing the purest of energy in their consciousness, which is the purest of light, which is the purest of love. Yeah. So it's not like they didn't know this was coming. And I'm certainly not the only messenger. Right? So it is what it is. You choose the pathway that you're on, and then you experience the result. And then if you don't like that result, you might want to try a different way. But once you've experienced what love is, choosing a spiritual pathway to learn through spirits that are alive and living in nature, which are living in the light, which is what love is, you're learning at a faster rate of speed. You're learning through a pathway that allows you to live forever, because you're experiencing the love that goes on forever, gifting that love. And when you're on that pathway, then you are with those spirits that are doing that with you. And that is the music of what love is. So they took a different route. They're not on that spiritual pathway. They're on a material pathway, which is the matter side. So it's all about matter. It's all about the world of things. 50 houses is never going to be enough. 30 sailboats is never going to be enough. You know, a ranch house in the Grand Tetons, you know, Jackson Hole, Wyoming, having another one in Switzerland, having someplace else on another planet, another galaxy. It's never going to be enough for these folks. In other words, they're impossible to please. Which is sort of like the way I've had the eternal blessing of being able to experience being butt naked on a beach all by myself, although we're not alone. But there wasn't anybody else with me. Okay, all by myself on a beach, feeling it in a state of complete eternal peace within my own heart, experiencing the waves, mama's waves, coming in from the Pacific Ocean, as if there isn't any time. So you realize that being able to experience eternal peace of mind is an eternal gift, because it is a timeless place. That's an eternal blessing. That's an eternal gift that I share with you, that I have the blessing to experience in me, and what it means to be able to experience having your mind's energy being